Hello Scorpio, and welcome to your March reading. So, I've already pre-laid the cards like usual. We're gonna start with the past or underlying energy, what we're talking about. Here we have the Nine of Wands. That's the wounded warrior, being guarded a bit because of what you've lived in the past, the war you went through. Maybe being a bit defensive or dealing with someone that is like that. We have the High Priestess. So we're talking about something that your intuition, your soul spoke about. And here we have communication, arrows of love. So maybe exchanging, communicating with someone that you feel deeply, but that maybe you are a bit guarded because there's a part of you that says yes and another part of you that is afraid of that connection, and that is maybe questioning it. In the now, you are questioning it. Those three came together. We have the Lovers. Here's that connection. We have the Three of Wands, waiting to see how it's going to come towards you, that connection. How is it going to develop? You know, because we had communication here. How is it going to develop? And here it's the, well, this is the experience I had in my life, the type of emotions I had in my life. It's my reference. We can only imagine in the future by reference of what we lived in the past. You cannot imagine a type of love that you have never lived. You can watch it in a movie and understand it on a certain level, but not on your water side, on your emotional side. There's no reference to it. So that's why when we have the Four of Cups, it asks us to open our mind and accept invitations and things like that, because the universe wants to bring us a cup that we don't know nothing about, that we don't have any reference to it. So there you are, looking at the landscape there in the future and watching how this develops. How are the boats coming in about this union? Here we have Aquarius. Maybe you're dealing with an Aquarius, but it's the Star. There's a question of fate in there. And there you are assessing. You're looking at how it's coming and you're assessing. Assessing with the investment and the communication you had in the past, what it has done until now, and looking at it, not seeing any results right now about it. So you're assessing so much that you're stuck in the future. Analysis, paralysis. These two, one after the other, that's where we're going. So now you're like, okay, what am I doing with this? Maybe I don't see any result, but I feel it. And so there's all these bars, but the problem is that you're not doing you when you're like this, because you're waiting and it stops your own growth. You're stuck in this position, and since you're stuck in this position, that is when we get there. They are chained. So maybe you're thinking about that person all the time. It's a bit you know, running through your head all the time, and it's bringing you down if you're not careful. Here, King of Wands. King of Wands, he knows what he wants and all of that. So that archetype can either put you in, I am moving from that, I am doing me and grabbing my wand with my will and moving forward, regardless of this. If it's gonna come, it's gonna come. If it doesn't come, too bad, but I'm doing me. in the meantime of what I want and what I want to create in my life, or he becomes obsessed and just thinks about this. And there, it's hard to get a new opportunity when you are obsessed about this one turnout, this one way that things can happen, and if it's not that, then it's nothing at all. You know, I want this person, I think always about this person. So this is kind of a warning here of not to wait and get stuck in paralysis there and not moving anything. Use your willpower. Put it upright here. Willpower, your fire side. That's the entrepreneur. That's the I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna go and expand myself with my willpower and reign on my decisions here, and I'm gonna grab the opportunities that are there. Getting out of the devil. The card that came after is the Seven of Cups. So if you get stuck in the devil, then you're gonna be stuck in fantasy, dreaming, and not advancing. And you need to advance in life. Even if this is a distant relationship, there's divine timing all the time. And if it's next year, if it's in 2 months, if it's tomorrow, don't wait like this and put yourself in the devil energy. Don't get stuck imagining 1,000 movies with that person and waiting, because this doesn't ground. It stays in the clouds. So see, these three energies are very static in a way. Very static. This one, yeah, it's all the options that can be out there, but they are not real opportunities. They are not grounded. They are fantasy with an emotional charge behind them of all the possibilities that can happen. It's in the clouds. It's all in his head. All in her head. And they're assessing. You see? Okay. Let's clarify some cards here. Scorpio March. Call upon my guides. I call upon Spirit. I call upon the light to give me the energy of Scorpio for March. Help me clarify this reading for Scorpio. Okay. Talk to me about the High Priestess in the past. What did the High Priestess talk to Scorpio about? What did she talk about, Scorpio? What did she say to Scorpio? The Ace of Cups wanted to come out. She's talking about love. What did she talk about? What did she talk about to Scorpio? What did she talk about? So, we have the Knight of Cups there, that love. She did talk about an offer of love there. But also about here, leaving old baggage behind. And probably not to sabotage yourself. Because this is the Seven of Swords. He went in the night and stole all the swords. So this is a warning when the High Priestess speaks of this. She speaks of a warning of not removing your capacity to fight, your capacity to advance. That army there that didn't have any more swords the next morning, they had nothing to fight with. So we have a feeling of being powerless. That's how we can sabotage ourselves. And here, it's that needing to move on, to continue. Right now, there's a situation that is not satisfying, that is not giving you a Two of Cups and a One of Cups. And it is under the moon, under what she rules. So, moving on, not to sabotage yourself. even if there's that offer of love there. Talk to me about the Eight of Wands. The offering one's heart, or when someone comes and offers their heart, because see, you're defensive there. You could be defensive because of your past baggage, because of what you lived in the past, and not leaving it behind, because the Eight of Cups can be like the situation we're in now that is not serving us and that we have to leave it. Or that could be all of our experiences in the past that we carry with us, and it's time to leave it on the beach and walk away to something new that we don't know about under the moon. Because there's a little warning there from the High Priestess. Eight of Wands. Talk to me about the Eight of Wands. That's too much. Eight of Wands. Talk to me about the Eight of Wands. Scorpio. Well, that, see, the communication there was really making you happy, that's for sure. And also putting you at a crossroad of what do you do with it? Do I go with it to the unknown, to the world, or do I stay in my comfort zone, even if my comfort zone doesn't serve me anymore? What do I do? Talk to me about the Lovers. Talk to me about the Lovers. Lovers is a decision also. A decision that is meant to raise us from our condition. It is brought by the divine. Talk to me about the Lovers. Maybe opening yourself up to that union. Okay, so here we have moving along there, okay, because see, we have all so much of the stagnant energy. This is moving on. This is making a decision and moving on. This is all the conflict, inner conflict around it maybe. And there's that Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands that is here in the future. So that decision is conflicting for you, because it asks you to move on, to make a decision. Moving on here, Six of Swords, it's because this is maybe turbulent for you. This is uncomfortable. There's a need, the status quo here is uncomfortable, needing to move on, needing to take a decision, align your light and your dark energy and take a decision instead of staying there and just looking at what you've known before and not seeing that cup. Maybe grabbing that Ace of Wands, grabbing that opportunity. Or this can be vice versa. It depends on where you are in the storyline. The Star. Talk to me about the Star for Scorpio. Talk to me about the Star for Scorpio. What is the Star for Scorpio? Card of Fate. Card of, what is it written in the stars? knowing that the universe will back us up. Hangman. Aha. Again, there you need to see that feeling of connection and faith differently, because there's another waiting card here, but waiting not for any purpose, waiting to have the enlightenment on it. There's like a pause there. You're assessing, but you're assessing so much that you're being stuck there. It's one thing to wait for our ships to come in to see how things are going, but using that time to get an enlightenment of what we want, what is in the stars for us, what is our wish, to grab that opportunity or not. Seven of Pentacles. See, Seven of Pentacles, that assessing and waiting, working on your garden. What does it do? It puts you in that Eight of Swords, you know, analysis, paralysis. And here we have the King of Cups, that's you, and communication. That page has the wand in his hand. Look at how you're truly feeling. Listen to your intuition of what the High Priestess has been telling you in the past there. To communicate. Talk to me about the Eight of Swords. Because, you know, it's like putting you in this stuck place, very stuck place. Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords. See? Not budging, not moving. These are all energies that don't move. They're stuck like that. They don't open up. They analyze, they feel stuck. Need to see it differently. Your fate there, or Aquarius, looking at it in another perspective, because there's a decision that needs to be made, and you don't have the references in your past experiences. If you just rely on that, you're gonna cheat yourself. There's a decision, and that creates conflict inside of you. To take a decision about that Ace of Wands there. Talk to me about the Devil. Talk to me about the Devil. You need to unchain yourself, because this is creating a prison for you. This is a prison. It is the Devil energy in that sense. It's creating a prison. Boop, 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 boop. We have the Eight of Wands again. There, the communication that made you happy. And we have the Page of Pentacle. Communication of something solid. That kind of created that communication that made you all happy and put you at a fork road is making you stuck. What is that, what we were talking there? What is the Ace of Wands? What is the Ace of Wands for Scorpio? What would be that Ace of Wands for them? Oh, that's too much. We had the Queen of Pentacle. That showed her face. What is that Ace of Wands? We have the Ace of Swords and we have the Nine of Swords. So you're in your head about it. We know that. That opportunity is bringing you a lot of worries. But there's a need of clarity there. So maybe to get out of the devil, there's a need to communicate, to really exchange and see, make that move, make that communication, so that you don't stay in that stagnant energy where nothing moves. Seven of Cups. There you are in two minds about it. Wish fulfilled and a Knight of Pentacles. To make a decision, because as long as you're in two minds about it, you're just making movies in your head and you're not taking a decision. You need to have only one clarity about it, not two clarities of what you imagine or what you have known in the past. You're stuck in a paradox because you're holding two realities. You need to have one reality. Ace of Swords. And, you know, slowly go to your wish fulfillment. Slowly go to your wish fulfillment. Make that decision inside of you. Two of Swords, it's a decision inside of us, where we don't see out there what is obvious. We have to feel it. We have to listen to our intuition. And we have to make the decision based on what is our truth. In the sense of not fears, or what is the truth of our soul? What is the truth of the reality that we want to live, that we want to see? Because if you choose the reality of your past bad experiences there, this is what you're going to create in the future. So to see that clearly, those two things clearly, and pick the one, that clarity, that victory, and act upon it. Because Nine of Swords, Eight of Swords, Eight of Swords again, Seven of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, these are all stagnant energies. All stagnant energy. Here with the Devil, since they repeated the Eight of Wands, maybe you don't have any more news. Maybe there's no communication, and that puts you in a mental state of mind. You need to grab your willpower and take the passion in front of you. Take your passion and go where you want to go, and do it. Choose that reality and slowly go towards your own fulfillment. If you have no news from that, maybe an earth sign or an Aquarius or even a Gemini, go towards that, to fulfilling your own emotional happiness. Because you see, he's not represented with family and everything. He is content by himself. And this is what we should all aim for. And then join and get that extra cup. Because you cannot have that if you are not self-content before. And right now you're not self-content, waiting like this and being in analysis paralysis and worrying and having all that anxiety and daydreaming. So this is what you should do. You had a glimpse of it in the past there. But if you listen to your intuition, she did warn you to continue your journey towards, see, 8, 9, continue your journey towards your own emotional fulfillment, so that you can get that, even if you had a glimpse at it. Do not betray yourself by removing your weapons because someone came with a cup. Those two do not make emotional fulfillment, because him is empty right now. He needs to fill them himself. It will not come from the outside. All right. So I'm gonna ask for a little bit of advice for you from Spirit to help you get out of the devil. What should Scorpio do to get out of this stagnation mode there? Spirit, tell me, what should Scorpio do? Give me advice for Scorpio. Give me advice. The sun. That's the joy. That's the joy of life. The being encouraged, being inspired, being luminous, putting clarity. The hermit. Go on that path. Go on that path to find your light, to find your emotional satisfaction there. Let your spirit guide you. The hermit went to see the high priestess, and he carries that knowledge with him, and that is what is being lit in front of him. To get that enlightenment into, hermit walks alone for a while, but he does something. He's not waiting. So maybe you need to walk alone for a little while, but to get your see the star, you have a path a bit alone to find your light, to find your emotional fulfillment, to realign with your star here, the star that you need to see differently. There's a pause time for you to see differently there. Or your Aquarius. And under the deck we have the Two of Cups. It's gonna come after, but there's a little part there where do you by yourself find your emotional satisfaction, and then that is going to realign you with your stars to go get that Two of Cups. Because right now, do not become obsessive. So this is your reading, my Scorpios, and I'm gonna wish you love and light, send you my love and light, and thank you for watching and subscribing and liking and commenting. I read all the comments, and I'll see you next month. Okay, bye bye.